Hey guys, so this week we're going to pull some more maintenance on the RV. I'm going to try to get this propane heater inside working. I suspect it's a sail switch, but I'm going to start by checking there first because I do not hear any clicking for ignition. I suspect that Nikki's hair over the years has probably been sucked in there and it's probably blocking that sail switch from doing its job. So that's the first thing we're going to check. Hey, I want to take a quick minute before we get started. I want to talk about how great YouTube is and how great it's been for us, that we've made a lot of friends through YouTube. Examples being like Embracing Detours with Bree and TJ, Schmore Camping with the Shrags, John and Heather, Following the Fitches with Dave and Andrea, and even Ben and Christina with the McMillan Express. We've all become close friends with all these people through these YouTube channels. And YouTube is really so helpful. You know, I use YouTube basically to help diagnose what our issue was with this furnace of ours. I also want to take a quick minute to give a little shout out to some new friends of ours through the YouTube community. They are
HappilyEverHanks.
And they are Renee and Kyle. And they have some really great content on their channel.
Yeah, they're so sweet that they always respond back whenever you comment. They're like immediately comment back. One of the videos that I actually commented on her necklace, and I said, I just love your necklace. I said, where did you get that? And so she ended up telling me where she got it, and I ended up buying one now. And so I wrote her back and said, look what came in the mail. And she was like, oh, that's awesome. And so it was just really cool that you know, they were so friendly and down to earth. So
Yes.
I just want to give a shout out to them.
Yeah, so if you've never seen HappilyEverHanks in their channel, we'll put a link down in the description below. We'll also leave a link at the end of this video to one of their videos. Their videos are great. I love the creativity that they show.
And they're very funny.
They're very funny, and they also have a lot of great knowledge for full-timers, which is great.
Yeah.
So if you haven't checked them out, check them out and show them some love and tell them Alley Chuck Adventure sent you. All right, so we're gonna get in and I'm gonna get back to the video here and show you how we fixed this furnace. First thing I wanna do is I'm going to turn off all propane. Okay, first step is I'm going to have to take this cover back off. This will be about the third time I've had this thing off. Okay, so now that I got the cover off, I went ahead and took this one screw that's holding it down. I'm going to go outside next and take the exhaust vent loose. Also, I think I want to pull the fuse for the furnace while I'm here, just to be safe, and I got to figure out which one the furnace is. Okay, so reading up here, I've determined that the furnace is number 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll pull that out. There should be no power to the furnace now. I guess I'll start over there. I'll test the furnace here real quick just to see, make sure it does not kick on. And it did not kick on, so I definitely pulled the right fuse. All right, so I'm gonna go outside. I'm gonna take that exhaust port loose, and then we'll see if we can get this furnace out of there and check that sail switch. This thing looks like it's pretty well caulked in there, so that means I'm going to have to re-caulk it when I'm done. Wow, that was not easy to get out. Not easy to get out at all. Okay, let's go around back inside. So this was easy enough. These just twist lock in there, and it was easy enough just to twist them off and sit them down the ductwork. Unless I just take this fuel line loose here, it might be easier. Let's see how hard this is to take off. All right, I just got a bigger crescent wrench. Let's see if this will work. Yeah. Let's see if I can just use the small one now. It's loose, a little easier to maneuver. pivot on there very well, which is making it very hard. There we go. Okay, now it's loose. Okay, so I got that out. That's out. Now I'm just hoping that there's enough wiring back there that I do not have to be cutting and splicing wires. That's not what I want to do. I'm just gonna try to pull it out now. I think I have to lay it down to get it out. Well, I just learned a lesson there. Do not grab right in here. That was sharp as all get out, and I just cut my finger open. All right, I got the unit out. Now I got to figure out where the sail switch is, because I am not seeing the sail switch. Like I thought it would be right here. Maybe it's underneath here. But I see blue wires going in here, and I thought it had a blue wire attached to it. So I guess I'll take this Phillips screw head out here and see if it is in fact somewhere in there. I see blue wires going to there. And I think I found the sail switch right here. So debating on whether to cut this loose or just unplug these two here, pull that out, and I'm praying that that is just really gunked up with dog hair and everything, and I don't even have to buy a new one. I can just put it back in there and it'll work, because it is really dusty inside this thing. If you can look and see inside the fan, it is really, really dusty. Really bad. I almost want to take all the wiring loose, take it around to the air compressor, and just blow it all clean. Alright, I'm gonna take a picture of this just to make sure I get it back the right way. Because it appears there's a double wire. The double blue wire goes to the bottom of that switch, and the single blue wire goes to the top. Okay. Okay, I unplugged it. I need a little tiny screwdriver now. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get in there with my big screwdriver. So there's two screws, two small Phillips heads holding the sail switch in. I really do need to get probably a small tiny screwdriver. I don't know if I'm gonna get this bottom one out at this angle. Yeah, I got it. Well, that doesn't bode well. That the sail switch is bad. Definitely the sail switch is bad. So what I'm seeing on the sail switch here is that the little, if you can see, I'm trying to turn it where you can see, where the little black button in there that sail switch pushes against, it is basically, it looks like it's shot. It's not coming in, it's not clicking in and out. So I'm gonna go down to Camping World and see if I can get a new one of these, put it in. But I would definitely say that this is a problem, because it's supposed to push in and click that little black button in to either close the circuit or open the circuit, whichever the case may be, and it is not doing that. All right, so I'm gonna go see if Camping World has one of these, and I'll get right back to you. Okay, so the part that I ordered, the sail switch, has come in. It is time to go ahead and put this back in to the furnace and see if this was in fact our issue, which I'm 99.999% sure it was. All right, so my camera apparently decided to stop recording as I was installing this back in, but I'll just go over what I did. It's pretty simple. The sail switch, I just fed it back in there, screwed it back in. I referenced my picture that I took when I was taking it apart to make sure I hooked the wires back up in the correct position, which pretty much remembered that the 2 wires went to the bottom plug and the single blue wire went to the top, but I always take pictures just to make sure. So it's back in there right now, and I'm ready to put the cover back on, button this thing up, and test it out. Time to feed this thing back up in there. Let me go out and take the exhaust port out. Oh yeah, it goes in like this. But I gotta go in sideways to start with. Yeah, skinned up that a little bit. Didn't want to do that. At this point, I'm trying to get this back here to line up with the hole. There it goes. Okay. And right there is where it's supposed to sit, because there's a screw hole in the front. So once I got it slid onto that exhaust opening back there, I know this is where it lives because of the hole. All right, I can pull this back out. At this point, it's just a matter of putting these back in place. And twisting. There it goes. That one's in. I don't think this one's in right. There it is. Okay. That one's in. I think before I hook up this hose, gas line, I'm going to make sure I can get that exhaust port in the back, because I may have to do some wiggling around. And I don't want to take that back loose in case I have to do more wiggling than that hose will allow. Alright, yeah, you can see in there where the exhaust, let's see, that's where the exhaust has got to connect up in there. So hopefully this ain't going to be too tricky to get that to line up. Alright, it went in. So the battery kind of went kaput as I was reinstalling the propane line, but that was pretty self-explanatory. Put a wrench on it, tighten it up. All the duct work is reconnected, and we are ready to fire up the system and see if this is going to work. I turned on the propane. I put the fuse back in the fuse panel that I pulled out. And before I put the cover on, I might as well go ahead and test it now and see if we get heat. Okay, we have heat. It is running. It is getting hot. And the bathroom is quite warm. So I got to tell you a little bit of a story here. When I last left off with you, I was buttoning everything back up and getting ready to test it. And no power to anything. I could not even get the air conditioner to work. So I started freaking out a little bit. And went online, tried to do a little research, and I'm thinking maybe it's I'm gonna turn this off. Ooh, it's getting hot in here. Don't need it today. It's 80 degrees outside. Went online inside, tried to figure out, you know, is it the thermostat? Is it the control board? Did I pinch a wire or something when I was putting things back together? So I got my multimeter out. I made sure we were getting 12 volts coming from the battery. I made sure that we were getting 12 volts coming into the thermostat wire. And I pulled everything back out. I turned the switch off on the furnace and forgot to turn it back on. So that absolutely controls the air conditioner, I guess, as well. So learn a little lesson from me. If you're doing this, don't freak out. Make sure you check everything. Like I'd taken the fuse out of the fuse panel. I'd put it back, and it, you know, but I just forgot that little switch. And so I tore everything apart just to find that out, basically. When I seen that I had the switch on the off position, I was like, oh, thank you. At that point, I left the furnace out here, turned the air conditioner on, it fired right up, turned the furnace on, the blower started blowing. Obviously, you could hear it clicking. I didn't have anything hooked up as far as propane. But now I've got everything back together. All I got to do is just put this cover back on and I'm done. If you're new to our channel, we would appreciate it if you would hit that subscribe button down below, ring that bell notification so you'll know when we upload new videos, and give us a big thumbs up if you found this video useful and helpful. Thanks, guys. We will see you next week.